Gambian Talents TV, promotion, population, promoting our culture, promoting our tradition.
In Accra. And this is a record number, as the Gambia has not registered any, or has not registered this amount of participants in any international competitions. We are currently preparing the team that qualified for the Olympics, which is taking place in Paris, France, from July 26 to August 12. And the NSC is collaborating with the GNOC, with the Gambian National Olympics Committee, to prepare the team. The ministry has already allocated $7 million to support the participation of the Gambia in the Olympics of 2024. Lastly, we'll look at the stadium. And as you all know, the renovation is ongoing. And we're hoping that the second phase, which is supposed to give us the requirement for CAF, will be completed by the end of July, and we will be able to bring our matches back home. The Gambia government have signed the international coach for the Scorpions about 2 weeks ago, and government, through the GFF, recruited the coach, and will be paying his salary for the next 2 years. The coach is tasked, among other things, to recruit a strong or formidable national team, as well as to provide technical support for the Gambian local coaches, as well as to qualify Gambia for the 2025 African Cup of Nations. These are some of the deliverables that have been agreed between us and the coach, and we hope that as he starts his task with the coming match with Seychelles, he'll be able to deliver those goods. So ladies and gentlemen, these are some of the updates that we have. Well, maybe let me add that recently also we have supported different associations. And I will just take this opportunity to just go through them. One is the Gambia Handball Association that just returned from Mauritania to participate in the 2024 Zone 2 Championship. The ministry supported the Handball Association with $2 million. And we've also recently, we're giving $1.5 million to the Gambia Paralympic Committee, who would also be participating in the 2024 Paralympics in Paris, which is coming right after the Olympics. The Gambia Judo Association was also supported with $622,500 for the participation in the World Championship Seniors in Abu Dhabi, in the United Arab Emirates. And this is taking place from June 19 to 24. A group of young people also recently returned from Ghana who participated in the 2024 Yali cohort, and the ministry is supported with $195,000. And our Gambia male volleyball team would be participating in the Olympics qualifiers, as well as the World Pro Tour in China from June 6 to 8, as well as June 18 to 24th. And the ministry is supported with a cash amount of $1,752,300. So these are some of the recent supports that we gave to different associations and different sporting disciplines, as we all work towards ensuring that sport is supported in the country as well as Europe. So, Doctor, these are some of the updates we would want to share with the public. And if there are questions, I guess, I don't know what the format is going to be.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for those updates. If you have questions for the ministers, I would suggest, since Honorable Badjie will be leaving us shortly, that we begin with him, and after he exits, then Honorable Cisse can begin to take questions. So we will entertain maybe four questions, and then yes, you raise your hand, you identify yourself and the media that you represent or the medium that you represent, and then you'll be asked to pose a question, and then you give chance to others to also come with their questions. Yes, so yes, sir. You have something?
This is a favor. Very much appreciate this meeting, and also want to take the opportunity to thank the government for the recent Mandakunda initiative. Really appreciate it. So my question is regarding the NEDI initiative, where you highlighted that about over 1 million will be given shortly to businesses. It would be to young businesses. It would be very useful to know how many young businesses are targeted, since you say it's about in a week's time that they might receive this. How many young businesses will this be supported? And if I could ask another question, sir? You have more questions?
Let him handle that first, and we see how many people have questions, because it's not the time, because he has another question.
No. Yeah. So there is a process when it comes to the NEDI grant and the loan. The grant is administered at our level at NEDI, and there is an application that young people who have gone through the training, because one must have completed the 5 days training, all these trainings that NEDI is doing, and at the last day they can apply, and they have a shortlist committee that looks at the numbers and shortlist. So currently, I mean, as usual, you would have more than 100 people that will apply, higher than that. But based on funding, we are giving 23 young people. The NEDI general manager is here. Okay, so 29. You have a date yet? Okay, so next Tuesday. So 29 young people out of the lot that applied. But that this is for this year. Last year, we gave a similar number, and the 2021, 33 for last year. So every year we do these presentations, and like I said, it's a startup. But then there is the loan scheme, which because of fiduciary responsibilities, we are working with SDF. It's our fund, but managed at SDF. And if you do well with the grant, and then after a year or two, you can then qualify to apply for the loan, which is you're supposed to pay through the SDF with a 6% interest. So yeah, but for this year it's 23. The budget for AFCON was submitted by the Federation was $388 million. That was in anticipation that when we get into the AFCON, we will go all the way to the finals. Essentially, we didn't raise that. What we raised is what government gave is the 200 million. We raised a little bit from the private sector. Altogether, there was a total amount of $211 million that was raised. And I said when I made this remark that doesn't mean that what was spent. What was spent at the end was, and maybe don't quote me on this one because I don't have the exact figure here, but I know it was about 109 million, 110 million. That was what was spent. Now, government regulations, if we give you money, you don't spend it, you return it. And we've done that through finance and reporting. The report will come from the committee, but the audit is something different. Audit don't happen 2-3 months after an event. It takes a period before it happens, and I'm sure when the audit is done, the report will be shared as expected. But on the NCC part, they have got the report, and they would do the press briefing to report on those expenditures. No, the Gambian culture is we don't disclose his salary, right? You don't disclose our salary. Government is paying. The Ministry of Youth and Sports is paying the coach salary. But those are contractual issues, and we are not at liberty to say it here.
Good morning.
Morning.
My name is Gov'T. I represent the Employment Association. With information from the Ministry of Information I mentioned a lot about education in all your speeches, and agricultural farming, cycling, and the online aspects cycle as well. This results involves with education. Is there is there a way the ministry involves all this through the primary, secondary, and tertiary institutions so that this lifelong skill for life that you have introduced to this after school graduate or non-graduate, is there a way that you can track them through the nursery, primary, tertiary, and then university until their NYSS period? Thank you.
The question is, but if I, no, it's fine. Let me just try to answer it from what I understand. Yes, we do. We do tracer studies. So for instance, those that graduated from the GSI in the previous years, we've done a tracer study to understand where they are. You know, if they are employed, if they have opened their own businesses, and yes, we have that report. Now, NYSS, there was a tracer study that was done. I was not minister then, but there was a tracer study that was done previously to know where these young people are. But of course, yes, we understand that some of them that graduate would get employed. Some of them would open their own businesses, but there are some of them that will probably flop back to what they were doing. You know, so those are the things. But we have a higher success rate than otherwise. And the figures are there. Some of them are employed by WHO, others are employed by private firms, and others have gone on to open their own workplaces, and they're doing well.
My name is considering the improvement made on the stadium, many of us are focused on the stadium, but forgetting that there are mini stadiums. So I want the minister to update us on the works that are being done on the mini stadiums, because going through the mini stadiums, we can see that they are forever. So please, can you update us?
Which ones?
Manyai, Serakuta West, Bangi.
Okay, it's fine. Yeah, I just wanted you to be clear. Now, let's say this. You see, there is always this misunderstanding about who owns what and who is responsible for what. Everywhere you go in the world, municipal councils are the ones who are responsible for the management of municipal sport infrastructure in general. In fact, they are the ones responsible for the construction of municipal sport infrastructure. A government is responsible for construction of national infrastructure. Now here, and that is now your responsibility to go there and task the leaders, the local leaders, to ask them what are they doing to support sports in the regions or in the municipalities. Because these ones that you just mentioned, they are not under the Ministry of Youth and Sports. These are structures that belong to the councils. And the previous years, previous decades, the municipal council constructed it. Because KMC then, in the early 2000s, constructed Serekunda West, Serekunda East, Manjai, and Bakau. So the upkeep and all of that is not a ministry responsibility. In fact, we have no role whatsoever in the management of those counts, the ones you just mentioned. However, understanding the challenges, that is why government, as a central government, comes to the local level to construct these fields. And that's why we did one in Buyam, we did one in Kafuta, we did one in Janjambure, we did one in Sandu, just to ensure that young people in this region have something that they can use. I think that answers the question. Yes, sorry, in Kiang Manduar. That's why we did the one in Kiang Manduar, all right? And currently we are doing one at Mboyo Field, which is at Bakote, which is going to be not just a football field, but a standard mini stadium that has a football pitch with grass, it has a pavilion, it has a basketball, volleyball, and handball lawn. And it's going to come with lights and everything that one needs. And that is
No, there's a reason why I'm here. No, hold on. Let me just very clear. There is a reason why I'm here. Is to organize and coordinate. And if you are chairing a program, you are responsible for the program. So I know the information officer is your friend. but I coordinate and I take charge. Okay? So, and we have to be very democratic. That's what you fight for every day. You cannot ask 2 questions when your colleagues have a question pending. So you can go ahead.
Thank you. That's why I'm thanking you for being very much. So, you said Taylor, okay, so my question is regarding the stadium. Yes, we have many questions. We have even more, but we will just these ones out. Honorable Minister, you've spoken about the stadium, and now we are looking at sometime in July, right?
Yes.
It will be almost 2 years, if I'm not mistaken. Now, what has caused this delay that it's taking so long? It's almost 2 years now. That's the first one. And then secondly, can you reassure us that this time July for sure will be July for sure? Over 100 million was spent at one point. We don't even know how much was spent. If you can throw that enough in there to tell us how much has been spent in the stadium so far. Thank you very much.
No problem. Well, okay, let me say this about the timing. When we speak as ministers, we are speaking based on technical information that is given to us. Because you all know that we don't get on the ground and do the job. But there is a committee, there's a technical committee responsible, the Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure. The Ministry of Youth and Sports is more of a beneficiary because we are not doing the estimates, we are not supervising the work, we are not providing the money. So we're right there in the middle. Ministry of Works tells us that this is how much you need to do what you want to do. And we take that to the sports committee, the sports cabinet subcommittee on youth and sports. It gets to cabinet approves, and the Ministry of Finance then looks for the money and gives us. We only operate when we are given the funds. If we are not given the funds, we cannot move. So I want that to be clear. Secondly, the timelines. This is what the Minister of Work said, you need 6 months to be able to do the job. The contractors will bid, and they're giving a contract based on that arrangement. However, if you delay your payment, they add the months that you have delayed the payment to the end of the contract. Sometimes also they receive the money, but they order these things, materials from China, from Turkey, shipments and other things get delayed. These are the reasons why contracts get delayed. So whenever I say 6 months, I am speaking based on what is on the paper. But everybody who works in construction in general terms, even I'm sure if you're building your house, the contractor will tell you we can do it in 6 months and they end up doing it in 1 year. So these are the things. But by and large, the delays were primarily based on one, not accessing the funds on time. Secondly, the delays in the shipment by the contractors. And anytime they delay, they let us know, and then they'll have an extension to the contract. There was a gap in the first 6 months and what we're doing now. And that was because the president himself said it when he went to the stadium. These are things that were never budgeted for. And so if you tell government that you need to give 100 million when there was no 100 million in the budget, and you already gone past your budget, it has gone to the National Assembly, approved, and now something comes up that was never anticipated. You have to go around to look for the funds. And this was the reason why the work was delayed. But eventually we were able to start, and now we are assured that all the funds are in, at least for the second phase, and the contractors, and that's why I said, on paper, we expected that the work will finish by the end of August. And we don't anticipate any delay, because as of yesterday, they were within schedule. Sorry, end of July. Yes, end of July. Now, total amount. The first job, the first phase was about $153 million. And the second part, so total we spent we'll be spending $283 million for the renovation of both the first phase and the second phase. And let me add that there is supposed to be a third phase, which is supposed to be the tracks and the floodlights. And those are taken out from the job because the cost estimate we receive is too huge and we cannot carry all of this at the same time. Yeah. Okay, so I was advised by the government spokesperson and the vice to president about the NEDI, that it would be important to say what NEDI means. It's National Enterprise Development Initiative. And sometimes somebody would ask, is NEDI part of the ministry? Yes, it is an institution under the ministry. just like how we have the award scheme or PIA, NYSS, NYC, and NSC, and of course stadium.
Okay. You have a follow-up? Okay. You have a question?
Yes, no, I was just going to check. I'm sure everyone can hear my voice. Just right now, a sports journalist posted that on coffee time, there is allegation of sexual abuse at the Gambia Football Federation. I was just checking it. I don't know if the minister is aware of this. Have you been briefed about it? It's a breaking news that just came in by one of some sports journalists.
Sexual harassment at the JFF, like in the JFF office, or?
Allegations of sexual abuse at the Gambia Football Federation.
No, I'm not aware of it. I've never been told about it. But yes, so I mean, when we are told about it, when we get the information, we will do the right thing. But for now, we have not been told about it. But of course, there is definitely zero tolerance for sexual abuse in the sports sector, in general terms. In every sector, yes. Yes.
So one more question for the minister, because he has to leave. Yeah, you can do that. Yes, and be very brief, please.
All right, please. I mentioned before, like I said, this national enterprise development, are they instituted in the local regions? I come from Tudoring, and we don't have any kind of all these things you have been saying. We don't receive any deliverables and all that. We institute and create our own everything, kind of. And if you know very well, Ebola Association has done this.
Yeah.
And of course, we are being favored by the government and private institutions and funders. But for us, we are very well okay. I will say this, because if you know the foundation of where we come from. What about other villages that does not have access to the ministries and all that? Right now we are here, very nice, and what about people from other places? How can they be part of everything that we are getting? We are getting this fully. How can we shift it over to other local places like Tudoring and the villages around? Thank you.
Thank you. No, there is an office, NEDI office, which is located in Carnifin, just behind the Red Cross headquarters, and primarily it was operating from there. But this is an institution of the ministry, like I said, and the ministry is present in every region. If you go to the governor's office in West Coast and in all the regions, the ministry has an office and permanent staff, a sports coordinator, a youth coordinator, and assistant. And these individuals operate on behalf of the ministry, as well as the institutions under the ministry. And recently, in February, we opened 2 offices for NEDI, one in Soma and another one in Basse. And these are the offices that are supposed to cover the provincial areas. So we cannot be in every village, but at least we are in the headquarters of the region. Like, for instance, in West Coast, we're in Brikama, and you can always access our services through the governor's office. Yes, and also there's district youth committees. So the committees are for sport and for youth. And if you cannot get to Brikama, for instance, you can get in touch with the chairperson of the youth committee or the chairperson of the sport committee of your district, and they can be able to link you with this institute. And of course, when we do trainings, these young people come from all over the country. Because when you look at, for instance, one aspect of our training is the migration aspect. Those young people who try to embark on this irregular migration, they are all over the country. And when we train them, we are not looking at where they come. Of course, we will always consider gender and the regional dimension, but the village is not the issue. And they come all over the place. And then also when they apply for the loan, there is that consideration. Just like NYSS, there is a number that is given per region. So if you say we are recruiting 200, you know that, for instance, West Coast is a bigger region, they have a higher number. And then KM and LRR and Sierra, that's how it happens. So there is a decentralization of our programs. All right. Okay. So you hear that.
Thank you very much.
All right. Okay. I guess that will be the last thing. I wish I can stay with you, but I have a meeting at 1 o'clock. So thank you so much, guys.
Gambian Talents TV. Gambian Talents TV. promotion, population, promoting our culture, promoting our tradition,